On February 10, 2025, Eddie Murphy, an icon of the entertainment world, decided to do something he had never done throughout his illustrious career: camp alone in the depths of the California forest. In search of finding peaceful moments away from the hustle and pressure of the artistic life, Eddie distanced himself from the blaring lights of Hollywood to reconnect with nature. Before the trip, Eddie was very excited. He spent time researching and planning the details of his journey. He referenced a series of survival articles about camping, from how to set up a tent and start a fire to identifying edible plants. He prepared essential items such as a tent, sleeping bag, flashlight, and a compact cooking kit. Eddie believed that camping would help him relax and recharge for future film projects. Upon arriving at the forest he had chosen, Eddie felt the freshness of the air and the tranquility that only nature can provide. Towering cedar trees stood firm, their green canopies casting cool shadows in the sunlight. The sound of a babbling brook and the cheerful chirping of birds created a beautiful natural symphony. After setting up his tent, Eddie sat by the campfire, enjoying a light dinner of grilled fish and fresh vegetables. Memories of his past stand-up performances and the laughter he brought to stages felt vivid in his mind. As night fell, the peaceful atmosphere gradually turned into an air of mystery and unease. Sitting by the fire, Eddie listened to the wind and the sounds of the forest, but his senses seemed to foretell something amiss. A cold sensation began to seep in, making him feel uneasy. However, Eddie decided not to let fear creep into his mind. He reminded himself that he was an artist, a creator of laughter, and this was the time to explore the adventure within himself. When the moon shone brightly in the pitch-black sky, Eddie felt restless. Beside the flickering fire, he decided to take a stroll around the camping area. The night in the woods was dazzling with bright stars above, but that light couldn't dispel the darkness of the lurking fear. For the first time in his life, Eddie clearly sensed the loneliness and vulnerability of humanity in the face of nature's power. The cold air of the night tangled his thoughts into a chaotic state. As he walked deeper into the dense forest, strange sounds began to echo. The rustling of leaves and the snapping of branches made it seem as if someone, or something, was watching him. Eddie's footsteps echoed in the dark, but there was something beyond what his eyes could see. At that moment, the presence of something mysterious made his heart race. Eddie shivered slightly but did not want to show any signs of fear. He had played humorous roles, made people laugh, and now he couldn't let fear dominate him. Suddenly, out of the shadows, a gigantic shape emerged, its eyes shining like headlights. A black bear was lurking, and Eddie had no time to think. His heart felt like it was about to jump out of his chest. He recalled what he had read about dealing with bears: don't make noise and stay calm. But events unfolded too quickly. The bear, with its frightening strength and size, charged at Eddie, and in an instant, it attacked. Eddie's terrified scream echoed through the forest, a sound that would forever serve as a reminder of life's unpredictability. His journey from the depths of the woods turned into a survival battle that no one could imagine. Afterward, silence enveloped the area, leaving only shadows and the bone-chilling cold of the winter night. The next day, when Eddie's friends discovered he hadn't returned, panic ensued. They contacted the police, and a large-scale search began. Rescue vehicles, search teams, and volunteers combed the camping area that Eddie had not had a chance to leave. The delicious meal Eddie had grilled the night before was now cold, and the tent lay forlorn among the majestic nature. They looked for footprints, hoping to trace Eddie's last journey. Time passed like a clock hand spinning endlessly. For hours, there was no news, until finally, the rescue team discovered Eddie's body near a stream, not far from the campsite. The scene evoked a sense of a horrific tragedy that had occurred. More than just the loss of a famous star, It was the pain in the hearts of friends and fans that was felt. News of Eddie Murphy's death spread rapidly, shocking the entertainment industry. Stars, colleagues, and fans from all over the world expressed their condolences. "Keep him in your heart," one fan wrote on social media, "because he brought laughter to us." Articles in various media reflected on Eddie's career, the laughter he created, and the moments he brought to millions. This movement was not only a tribute to a legend but also a reminder of the vibrant life he conveyed through his art. In the weeks that followed, many held memorials around the world, from radio stations to theaters where Eddie's films were screened. His image, radiant smile, and open heart would forever live in the memories of those who loved him. Special screenings were organized, where fans could gather, share fond memories, and laugh together over Eddie's works, from his famous comedies to the performances he had given. Eddie Murphy's death was not only the loss of a star, it was a reminder for all of us about the preciousness of life. He lived a full life, filled with laughter, dreams, and desires. In the days following the funeral, the press and media conducted numerous interviews about his career, his iconic films, and the impressions Eddie had left on his fans. People reminisced about hilarious stories, rivalries, and the moments Eddie had created. Each story became a cherished memory, an essential part of many lives. Though he was gone, Eddie's legacy lived on, inspiring the next generation of artists to courageously pursue their dreams and bring laughter to life. The pain of loss might fade over time, but the memories of Eddie, old friends, movies, and laughter would forever be imprinted in the hearts of those who loved him. Eddie Murphy would never be forgotten. He would live on in the memories of those who laughed, cried, and experienced life alongside him. In a recent interview, one of Eddie's close friends, who had worked with him on many projects, shared emotions following his death. "Eddie was a wonderful friend, always knowing how to bring laughter to me, to us. He was not just a star but also a hero, bringing joy and happiness to millions of people around the world." Accompanying those words, many initiated a campaign to name a star in the night sky after Eddie Murphy. This was not only a tribute to him but also a way to continue transmitting the values he embodied. At memorials, fundraising activities were organized for impoverished children, recalling what Eddie had done for the community. This simple yet significant action honored Eddie's legacy and demonstrated how a person could inspire and change the lives of many others. In some schools, performance art classes began to be held, emphasizing the importance of evoking laughter and bringing joy to people, just as Eddie Murphy had done throughout his life. The media also showcased a special exhibition about Eddie Murphy's life and career, displaying personal items, photos, videos, and compelling stories about him. Images from his famous films, posters, and comedic clips created an emotional space where fans could reflect on the memorable contributions Eddie had made. In the months that followed, this event not only made people remember Eddie Murphy but also encouraged them to reflect on life, on unfulfilled dreams. Many felt compelled to pursue their passions, live fully in each moment, and not let anything hinder their quest for happiness. Eddie had become a symbol of enthusiasm and passion, not only in the arts but also in daily life. In a world full of change and instability, Eddie Murphy would continue to be a symbol of hope and belief. He lived a full life, and although he had passed, his legacy would forever reside in the hearts and souls of those who loved him. The values Eddie left behind would continue to spread like warm embers on the cold nights of the deep forest. Ultimately, the story of Eddie Murphy is not only a tale of a comedic star. It is the story of the power of art, the strength of human connection, and the power of dreams. To remember Eddie, we don't just keep the laughter alive, but also the invaluable lessons on how to live, how to love, and how to share. Eddie brought the world not only entertainment moments but also genuine memories that people will never forget. Every time we look up at the night sky, where the stars twinkle, we will always remember that a special star will forever be there, a part of the vast universe. That is Eddie Murphy, an undying soul, an everlasting legacy. Eddie Murphy was born on April 3, 1961, in Brooklyn, New York, USA. He was the youngest child in a low-income family, with his mother, Lillian Lane, and father, Charles Edward Murphy, an actor and producer for television shows. Eddie's family lived in a small apartment in Bushwick, Brooklyn, where he grew up in a diverse ethnic environment. Eddie's father, Charles, began his acting career as a comedian and producer for television shows. He contributed to several programs such as Night at the Roxy and The Red Fox Show. Under his father's influence, Eddie developed a passion for the arts early on and became an integral part of the family. Eddie's mother, Lillian, significantly impacted his life. She tried to raise her son with traditional values but also encouraged his individual interests. Eddie attended Xavier High School in Manhattan, where he began to showcase his talent and unique personality. He participated in numerous school activities and honed his acting skills through stage performances. However, the family's poverty made it challenging to continue his education. Eddie's father passed away in 1969 when Eddie was just 8 years old, leaving him and his 3 brothers under their mother's care. This loss made Eddie feel a greater responsibility to help support the family. He began working part-time in stores and cafes to make ends meet. However, Eddie's passion for the arts never dimmed. He engaged in local music clubs, performing as a rapper and singer. Eddie's love for the arts led him into the entertainment world. The small experiences in life shaped Eddie Murphy. The poverty he faced forced him to become independent early and earn his own living. The loss of his father at a young age inflicted emotional wounds and suffering. These hardships made him a strong and resilient person, ready to face challenges. By the late 1970s, Eddie began showcasing his passion by participating in local talent competitions. He won numerous awards and caught the attention of producers and actors. Much of Eddie Murphy's success can be attributed to the difficult life and challenges he faced. Loss, poverty, and responsibility molded him into a strong and resilient individual. Through his passion for the arts and his talent, Eddie Murphy became one of the world's leading entertainment stars. Eddie Murphy began his stand-up comedy career in the late 1970s by performing at local comedy clubs in New York. He performed as a rapper and singer in bars and clubs. Eddie's love for the arts quickly transported him into the entertainment world. In 1980, he was selected to join the famous television show Saturday Night Live, SNL. His involvement significantly raised the show's popularity. With his unique style of humor and outstanding acting talent, Eddie became a star of SNL. During his time at SNL, Eddie created many humorous and creative characters like Gumby, Buckwheat, and James Brown. These characters became an integral part of SNL's history. Eddie Murphy's unique comedic style was one of the crucial factors that helped him become a leading entertainment star worldwide. He had the ability to create memorable and humorous characters that no one could rival. With his exceptional acting and versatile range, Eddie created funny characters that the public loved. Eddie Murphy had many interesting stories from his performances. During one show, he showcased his transformative ability by embodying the character Gumby. He transformed Gumby into various characters, making the audience roar with laughter. This story became an inseparable part of Eddie's comedy career history. Much of Eddie Murphy's success in comedy can be linked to his unique humorous style and exceptional acting talent. With his ability to create humorous and memorable characters, Eddie became a leading entertainment star. Eddie Murphy embarked on his film career in the late 1980s by appearing in movies like 48 Hours, 1982, and Beverly Hills Cop, 1984. The film 48 Hours marked Eddie Murphy's official film debut. The film, which revolves around two policemen, one black, played by Eddie Murphy, and one white, played by Nick Nolte, teaming up to catch a thief, was released in 1982. 48 Hours was directed by Walter Hill and produced by Jerry Bruckheimer. Eddie Murphy and Nick Nolte showcased their acting talents in this film. 48 Hours became one of the most successful films of 1982, attracting numerous viewers and receiving many positive reviews from critics. The movie also helped Eddie Murphy gain awards and recognition within the film industry. He won a Golden Globe for Best Supporting Actor for his role in this film. Eddie Murphy displayed his diverse acting abilities in 48 Hours. He portrayed a strong and resilient black policeman, making the audience feel more connected and at ease with his character. He succeeded in creating a character with a dynamic and robust personality. 48 Hours was produced at a time when racial discrimination still prevailed. The film became one of the critical works in fighting against racism. The production of 48 Hours faced many difficulties and challenges. He encountered significant pressure from the public and within himself. 48 Hours emerged as one of the most successful films of 1982, attracting numerous viewers and receiving positive reviews. The film also helped Eddie Murphy gain awards and recognition in the film industry. Eddie Murphy's golden era occurred in the late 1980s and early 1990s when he became one of the top film stars in Hollywood with a string of successful and beloved films. His transformative ability, humorous performance, and audience appeal allowed him to establish a solid cinematic legacy during this period. One of Eddie Murphy's standout films during this golden era is Beverly Hills Cop, 1984. This film was not only successful in box office revenues but also cemented Eddie's position in Hollywood. Eddie played Axel Foley, a cop from Detroit who travels to Beverly Hills to investigate the death of a friend. The blend of comedy and action gave the film a fresh feel, climaxing in witty dialogues and laughable situations. The film grossed over $300 million, making Eddie a top-tier star in Hollywood. Next was Coming to America, 1988, a romantic comedy rich in social context. Eddie played Prince Akeem, who faced pressure from his father to find a suitable bride. Refusing an arranged marriage, Akeem decided to travel to New York in search of true love. The film was acclaimed for its humanitarian message and profound humorous moments. It showcased Eddie's acting skills as he not only played the lead but also transformed into various characters, including women in the narrative. Coming to America grossed over $290 million and remains one of the most famous comedies of all time. Equally significant is The Nutty Professor, 1996, a film that affirmed Eddie's versatility as an actor. In the film, he portrayed Professor Sherman Klump, an overweight man trying to lose weight to win the heart of a female colleague. With his skillful makeup and acting, Eddie conveyed the character's struggles while also creating entertaining supporting characters. The Nutty Professor not only achieved commercial success, grossing over $270 million but also demonstrated Eddie Murphy's matured talent. Eddie Murphy brought fresh energy to the film industry, especially regarding films featuring black actors. Throughout the 1980s and early 1990s, Hollywood often offered simplistic or prejudiced roles for actors of color. However, with Eddie Murphy's success, many filmmakers recognized that audiences were also interested in diverse and multicultural stories. Eddie's career opened doors for many other black actors, allowing them to take on roles previously reserved for white actors. Thanks to Eddie Murphy's success, Hollywood began to provide more quality roles for black actors, enhancing diversity in the film industry. By taking on a range of lead roles in major films, Eddie not only elevated his status but also set a new standard for black actors. He demonstrated that black actors could succeed not only in comedic or action roles but also portray deeply developed characters across various genres, from comedy to romance. Eddie Murphy's fame marked a pivotal turning point for the film industry, prompting Hollywood to take the roles of black actors more seriously. Many young actors, such as Jamie Foxx, Chris Rock, and Martin Lawrence, looked up to Eddie as a role model in pursuing their acting careers. Despite experiencing a vibrant golden era, Eddie Murphy also faced challenges and difficulties in his acting career. Public pressure, scandals, and changes in the film industry made it challenging for Eddie to maintain his status. Eddie Murphy has had a long journey from his early days as a comedian in New York to becoming one of the world's leading film stars. Though he encountered numerous challenges and difficulties in his career, he consistently sought to overcome them and reaffirm his position. Eddie's golden era is a testament to his extraordinary talent and tireless contributions to the film industry. Moreover, he paved the way for other black actors, providing them opportunities and a space to develop their talents. Even though he faced numerous scandals and pressures, Eddie Murphy proved that he was not just an entertainment star but also a cultural icon and an inspiration for many future generations. Thank you all for watching the video. Please like, share, and subscribe to motivate me to create even better content. Hope to see you